3 things that you must know before you hire a life coach. What's up, my friend? My name is David and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing 3 things that you must know before you hire a life coach. So if you're new to my channel and you like personal and spiritual development videos, hit the subscribe button and notification bell down below because I release new videos every Monday. And let's get right into it. So if you know a little bit about my story, you'll know that I started a life coaching business a few years ago. It was the end of 2016, and after having some great experiences in London and meeting somebody who kind of pushed me into in that direction, I decided that I would quit accounting, start a business and become a life coach. And so I did. I moved to Melbourne, and that was the plan. That's what ended up happening. On my journey, though, I realized, and the reason I'm shooting this video is because this morning I spoke to a friend of mine and we were talking about coaching and how a lot of people are in the industry and they shouldn't be coaching the people that they are because they don't necessarily have the expertise in that area. And there's a lot of them. And I put myself in that category way back then because I was doing that. I was attempting to be a life coach, but looking back, I didn't have the results that I should have had in order to be leading people. And that's one of the reasons I got out. So on my journey, I met multiple coaches, well, not met, but spoke to on the phone, multiple coaches that were coaching things that they didn't have not to say any idea about, but they shouldn't have been taking people's money and giving them coaching advice. I met a guy who was coaching dropshipping that didn't have an e-com store or a dropshipping store. I've spoken to multiple people who are business coaches who were doing business for the first time, which to me was a bit odd. But then me being a bit of a hypocrite, obviously at the time, because I was doing something similar. I was attempting to mentor people and be a success mentor, quote unquote, but I hadn't achieved any level of success at all. So on this journey, I've actually worked with around 5 coaches / mentors, and the first 4 were terrible experiences. And essentially the reasons why were, when I look back on it, I shouldn't have trusted some of them because I didn't trust myself. I should have seen the signs just through videos and the conversations that I had with them or with their team. I really should have seen those signs and not moved forward, but I did because I was looking for guidance and felt very lost. In one of those instances, which I just mentioned about being a success coach, I really felt he was different. And here's the thing is that each one of those people, I'm sure they wanted to make a difference. I'm sure that and I know they do, I'm sure they thought they were doing the right thing, but in my opinion, they weren't. And I would say that out of those 4, the 5th one was amazing. I'm going to get into that now because there's no point. I'm talking about bad coaches here. The first one I don't think was very trustworthy at all. I think he was only in it for the money. However, the other ones, I genuinely believe that they want to make a difference, that they believe they are making a difference, and that's why they do what they do. It's just that they were going about it in the wrong way, because when I look back out of those 4 cases, all of them were really all about the money in some way or another. And they may not be like that now because things change and people do change, but at the time they were. And the funny thing is that you'll see videos online, and the 4th one I was actually watching for a while, and I thought he was different. He actually had ties to one of the companies I worked with before, but he'd left for different reasons. And I actually thought he was different, and turns out he was not different at all. And when it came to, I put down a deposit and only had one session with him. And the contract said that I could cancel whenever I wanted, so I canceled it and then asked for a refund for the difference, and I didn't get one. And he was being very difficult. And I don't know if the contract said no refunds, but it was illegal to write no refunds in the contract anyway. But I signed it, and it was a bit silly of me. So that's another lesson that I learned. My point is that when you're looking for a coach to work with, there are a few things that you need to consider. And these are the three things. The first thing is that you want to ask yourself, do they have the results that you want? That's very important, because when I look back, yeah, maybe those business coaches were doing well in their business, but can they get the results for me in my niche? You know, in some cases, some coaches won't even have the results that you want, like the dropshipping guy, for instance. And so that's the first thing. Do they have the results that you want? The second thing is, can they help you? They may have really great results themselves, but they may not be the best teacher. They may not be able to give you the results that you desire. And the best way to figure out if they can is by looking at testimonials and looking at past clients. Do they have a track record of getting clients great results? And if so, then cool. And the third thing is, are you willing to work? I mean, no coach is going to work with you if you're not, and you're not going to get the results that you desire if you don't. Now, in all of these cases, as I've said, the first one, I was definitely doing the work. The second one, I did do the work, but there were a lot of subconscious blocks going on, which I wasn't aware of. These are things I became aware of later on in my journey, and since then I'm working through those. But that's the thing, when you're starting out in, let's say, business, or if you want to get results in a certain area of your life, one of the biggest things that you need to realize is that you're going to have subconscious blocks. Otherwise, you'd already have the results that you want. It's that simple. If there's something in your life that you don't have, and perhaps you've tried to get it before, or you haven't tried at all, you have a subconscious block. I mean, you've got a paradigm or some sort of a belief that's stopping you from getting those results. Now, I want to give you a fourth thing, a bonus, and that is doing your due diligence, because that is one thing that I learned that is absolutely paramount. You have to do it. I would probably say that if I had done my due diligence, I wouldn't be shooting this video. Now, I think with two of the people, they haven't had many people complain about them. The first two, definitely. But the other two, not so much. That was something that I would have had to have found out myself. And so you can't always do your due diligence on a person to the degree that you would like. And also you can't believe everything you read online either. And I know there are plenty of fake reviews out there for people that actually do really good work. So that's really the end of the video. I want you to, if you are thinking about getting a life coach, consider these four things, because they are important. And I don't want you to have to make the same mistakes that I did. I mean, it has been interesting journey. Mistakes are expensive, lessons are expensive, no matter how you look at it. But that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Drop your biggest takeaway down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe and notification if you haven't already. Take care.